This is about to change everything. Folks, this is it. The 2025-2026 NBA season tips off tonight. And in honor of the NBA season tipping off tonight, I wanted to do my NBA awards predictions right here on the channel. What's going on, everybody? I'm Houston Bo. You're watching Warriors Digest. And if you want to be a content creator, if you're a passionate fan who loves your team just like myself, then I encourage you to try and join our team today. Go to digestmedia.ca/join us to apply. We have openings across all of the 5 major sports. And so if you are a passionate, excited fan who loves your team, then go down to the link in the description, apply for one of these openings. It might be your favorite team that needs an opening right here on YouTube. So, my NBA awards predictions. We got MVP, we got scoring champ, coach of the year, all of that stuff. And I'm not going to go slide by slide. I'm just going to throw it all up on the screen so you can digest it all. Digest media, no pun intended. And we will tackle it all right here in this video. So, where do I stand on all these things? Well, here we go. MVP. I think it's going to be Nikola Jokic. He has done so much in his NBA career already, and he's still not even that old in the absolute prime of his career, and I expect him to win another one. An absolute battle towards the end of the season last year with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to see who would be the MVP between him and SGA, and ultimately SGA got it done and then proceeded to have one of the best seasons in NBA history. MVP, scoring champ. He was obviously an NBA champion, and then Finals MVP. Folks, that doesn't happen. In fact, it's hardly ever happened throughout the course of NBA history is what Shai was able to do last year. And while I do think he might be, or he most definitely will be a first or second All-NBA team guy this year, will Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I expect Nikola Jokic with this team around him to average another triple-double. I think he's going to have a ridiculous season and ultimately win another MVP to add to his trophy case. Scoring champ, I expect it to be Luka Doncic. Specifically because LeBron James is going to miss an extended period of time for the beginning of the season, and I expect him to miss a lot of things for the upcoming season. I would a lot of time, I should say. I just expect Luka to have a heck of a year. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Luka Doncic won the MVP. I think his numbers and his productivity are going to be insane this year. I'm not sure what the efficiency numbers will look like because I do think he'll chuck a lot of shots, but I do think he will end up being the scoring champ based on the makeup of this team. I think he's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting, a lot of solid players around him, but other than Austin Reeves and Hachimura, you don't really know what you're going to get from DeAndre Ayton. Like, the scoring just really isn't there. Gabe Vincent's been so inconsistent, even though he's looked like the best he's looked since those Heat days in the preseason. I expect Luka Doncic to average 30 and put up ridiculous numbers this year and win the scoring title. Defensive Player of the Year. Probably should have been Victor Wembanyama last year, even with all the injuries and the blood clots and things like that. He was averaging close to 4.5 blocks a game for an extended stretch of the year last season. I expect him to put up similar numbers this year. I think he's going to have a ridiculous highlight package this season. He already has one in the first 2 years of his career, but this season I expect him to take a massive leap and win DPOY pretty handily. I think maybe Gobert, maybe Cat, maybe some of those other guys will be up there as well because I think they'll have solid years with their respective teams. But man, I just expect Victor Wembanyama to have a really good year. I've honestly been lower on Victor Wembanyama than most people throughout his early career. I even compared him to Bol when he started his season, or started his campaign as an NBA player. I said, what separates him from some of these other really tall, can maybe shoot the 3-ball type guys? Well, throughout the preseason, even in the Olympics Victor Wembanyama has just proven the type of player that he has the potential to be. And I think this is the first year where you go, oh, yeah, he might be the best player in the NBA one day. I think he's going to show us that this year. I think he'll finish top 5 in MVP voting, and I think he'll win the DPOY easily. Rookie of the Year. I think there are actually some very interesting candidates this year, but I do think it'll go to Cooper Flagg just because I think he's going to do a lot more than just score the basketball for this Mavericks team. He has the luxury of something that not a whole lot of rookies, first overall picks have, which is he's going to be on a competing team. Like, he's going to be on a team that is going to probably be in the playoffs, has a lot of fantastic players around him. He gets to learn from veterans like Kyrie, like D'Angelo Russell, like Anthony Davis. I think he's going to rebound the ball really well and be a great playmaker. I think we'll see how his three-point shooting is. Wasn't great in the not only the preseason, but the summer league as well. I think stepping out to that three-point line a little bit deeper in the NBA, he'll struggle with that to kick things off. I do think he'll settle around the 32% mark from the three-point line, and I expect him to just be solid enough to win the Rookie of the Year, though I do think there will be some other contenders throughout the year as well. Clutch Player of the Year, alongside the scoring title, I think Luka will win it. He's had some incredibly clutch moments throughout his early career. I guess you probably can't say early career anymore. He has been around the block for a while, and he was a pro for many years before being in the NBA as well. But I do think that he's going to put a season together this year where you get to the end of the year and you say, okay, who do I want in the clutch at the end of the games? I think Steph's going to be up there. I think Shai's going to be up there. I think Jokic will be up there. But I think Luka, because I think the Lakers are going to play in so many clutch games, because I think they're just so average. I think the Lakers are going to be average enough that they're going to be in competitions with the best teams and the worst teams, that I think Luka's going to have to produce a lot towards the end of the games, and I think that he will. Sixth Man of the Year, I expect it to be Jonathan Kuminga, but there is a chance, because of injury situations, that Jonathan Kuminga will start enough games where he won't even be considered for Sixth Man of the Year. So that's my only concern, which is a good concern to have as a Warriors fan and as a Warriors creator. I expect Jonathan Kuminga to have a really good year this year. Everything he showed me in the preseason proves to me that he's taking responsibility for the areas that he needs to improve upon, and I think he's going to do that handily and mightily this season. And I expect Jonathan Kuminga to average around 18 to 20 points a game this year off the bench, produce really well defensively and rebounding the ball as well, have good efficiency on a really good Warriors team, and so I expect him to win Sixth Man of the Year. There are going to be other guys around the league that are going to be steady contributors as well that are going to be up for that position, but I think Jonathan Kuminga will snatch it towards the end of the year based on his efficiency. But again, Jonathan Kuminga hasn't really proven in his career that he's capable of doing that off the bench. There's been flashes and moments where he's been really good, but not consistently. So we'll see how it turns out. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think if he could win the Sixth Man of the Year, it would be some massive boost to his status and to his value as a player, but I think it's going to be tough, but I think he'll get it done. Most improved, Benedict Mathurin. I think, although there's so much up in the air with the Pacers right now, with the injury to Tyrese and Miles Turner leaving the team, Pascal, some of these other guys are going to be really solid, but I think Benedict Mathurin's going to win most improved. I just think he's going to be has so many opportunities to score on this Pacers team that has so many injuries and slots that need to be filled, that I think Benedict Mathurin is going to have major potential to take a really big leap this season. He put up 30 points on 5 of 5 from 3 in 20 minutes in the preseason a couple games ago. He looks more complete than he ever has, and I think he's going to have a really, really good year and win most improved. And ultimately, I think Benedict Mathurin may be an all-star at some point in his career. And then Coach of the Year from the Denver Nuggets, I think it'll be David Adelman. I think the Nuggets will be the 1 seed, and I think because it'll be his first full year of coaching as a head coach, I think they'll give it to David Adelman. We've seen that in the past, even with Kenny Atkinson. First year as a head coach last season, they gave it to him because they were the 1 seed, and he did such a good job. So I expect it to be David Adelman. Mike Brown of the Knicks, wouldn't be surprised if it goes to him. Obviously, Mark Daigneault from the Thunder, Kenny Atkinson with the Cavs, even Steve Kerr if the Warriors have a good enough of a year. I think those guys will all be up for grabs or up for contention for the Coach of the Year, but ultimately I think it will be David Adelman who claims that trophy. That's my predictions for the NBA awards for the upcoming season. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Steph Curry, I've predicted, will be a top 3 in MVP voting this year because I think he's going to have an incredible year and shock a lot of people. What are your thoughts? Put them in the comment section down below. Folks, we're about 12 hours, not even that probably, from the beginning of the NBA season for the Golden State Warriors. Game 1 popping up here very, very soon. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. I got one more video coming out for you guys before the game tonight, and then we'll have a lot of post-game coverage and everything building up for this season. I've been Houston Mo. You guys have been the fans. It's Warriors game day, folks. Let's have some fun. I will catch you guys in the next one. And as always, go Dubs. Peace.